Hello, listeners. Get ready to go to the Bone Temple this week with horror movie talk.
We are now entering the Bone Zone.
Is this a metal thing?
Yes.
Little taste.
David, what is this?
Pretty thick.
Break.
I have to kill a lot of people. Just tell me what you want me to fuck.
I have big tits and a tiny vagina.
Oil me up, Daddy.
I can't believe that Bryce prefers big tits.
Mistletoe alert. This is butt country.
This guy was a real jerk.
How long can Hugo be pregnant?
Chomp, 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 chomp.
Oh, you're such a dick, David.
Okay, everybody, put on your corpse handling gloves.
Ew.
Hoodie Picasso.
Hello, I'm Bryce Hanson.
I'm Mandy Boggs.
And I'm Max Allen.
And this is Horror Movie Talk. We're a silly and opinionated horror movie review show. New releases always get priority, but also we also review... Oh, we didn't write this right. Maybe that's why we trip over that every time. We also review older horror movies, both good and horrible. Don't expect a full recap, but strap in for some hot takes as we dive into what we liked and hated about the movie. Make sure you rate and review anywhere you're listening. Also check out horrormovietalk.com to find all our links to socials, or call 682-253-4468 and leave us a voicemail. I got a great show today. We'll be reviewing 28 years later, The Bone Temple. We'll start out by giving a spoiler-free synopsis and review. After we give our score, we'll jump into the spoiler section. So if you haven't watched it yet, you can tune in until the spoiler section and hop out. Later on, we'll be answering our voicemails in this a segment we call Horror Movie Whores. But most importantly, Mandy is here as our first introductory entrant into auditioning as a co-host.
Hi.
So welcome, Mandy. Mandy has been the sole audience member for a couple weeks when we were live streaming. So we already know that she's up at this time.
That I am. I am.
And you've been a listener for a long time, right? You've been a patron for years.
2021, listening almost since you guys started.
Yeah.
2018.
What's the state of the podcast for you as a listener since 2018?
It's definitely had ups and downs. I won't lie to you, but I think we're back on an upswing again. I think that things sometimes can, they have a little bit of a low where you can kind of sense that things aren't quite right, and then they'll peak up again. But I think you're going in a good direction.
So. Good. Well, you're optimistic, so that's good. So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, Mandy? What's your background? What brings you here? What made you interested in coming on the show today?
So I live in Pennsylvania. I am a vet tech. That's what I do for a living. I watch a lot of YouTube, but I've never participated in anything like this. But like I said, I've been watching Horror Movie Talk for a really long time, and I really, really, really love it. It's my favorite, and I'm not just saying that. And, I actually had thought about maybe throwing my hat in the ring when you had that, when David had left, but I wasn't kind of in a position where I would be able to do that at that point. And now I kind of more am. And I just thought it would be, I know podcasting is work, but I also thought it would be fun as well. And I very much enjoy what you guys do. And it seems like a great time and a lot of laughs and fun and seeing some great and terrible horror movies.
Awesome.
Love it. Yeah.
So being a vet tech,
sorry,
how much does seeing dogs die in horror movies affect you?
Oh,
because you probably see dogs die every day.
I close my eyes. I close my eyes in horror movies. No, I can watch any person on the screen just get chopped down. It's fine, no big deal. As soon as I see a dog, I'm like, no, the doggy. Why?
Yeah, so
Yeah,
my wife's a vet tech as well, and she tells me a lot about how work goes. And the first thing is, it sounds like a super depressing job. And the second thing is, vet techs just seem to be, all of them, very dramatic people. There's always so much drama at the office. Is that kind of how it is for you?
sometimes some are, some not. It just depends on kind of the clique that you work with. You know, we're small, and
Are there
all of
like
us are
dog
pretty
vet
close.
techs and cat vet techs?
No,
Are
and
there?
we see all kinds of stuff. We see exotics. We see snakes, lizards, bunnies, chickens, turkeys, all kinds of interesting things. And basically, you just have to learn how to handle all of them. So there's not a specific. It's basically, you know, you need to know what you're doing, and you might come in not knowing, but people will teach you. And yeah,
Right.
where I work is, like I said, it's a nice place. It's a smaller place. It's, you know, we all get along pretty well for the most part, and we, you know, we'll hang outside of work sometimes and things like that, and help each other out with our animals outside of work. So, but emergency tech is a whole different level.
That's what my wife works in, is emergency tech, and she works right by a zoo, and so every once in a while they'll bring in some crazy animal. Like one time, a mother camel stepped on the baby camel's leg and broke it.
Oof.
And they had to bring in the camel to be put down. So,
oh, it's actually surprising that wouldn't happen more.
Yeah,
I'm sure it happens all the time in the wild too.
Probably, more than likely. But yes, the animals dying at our place is more of a, you know, they're old, it's time, or they're very sick, it's time. It's not, you know, some murderer is coming and being mean to or ghost is haunting them and tossing the dog out a window or something. So
that's true. Yeah, fair enough.
Emergency tech, I know you can see a lot more things like that where they've been hit by a car or things like that. So that definitely takes a special kind of person.
Okay, well, thanks again, Mandy, for coming on. Let's get into it. 28 years later, The Bone Temple can be found in theaters now. The Bone Temple, in addition to What I Call My Bedroom, is the latest installment in the 28 Days Later franchise. It picks up almost directly after 28 Years Later leaves off. Spike, played by Alfie Williams, is forced to prove himself to join the Jimmies, a sadistic cult fashioned after the media personality Jimmy Savile, led by the leader, Sir Jimmy Crystal, played by that one guy, Jack O'Connell. You know him from Sinners. Meanwhile, Dr. Kelson, played by Ray Fiennes, I guess, if you're nasty, furthers his research into the rage virus and befriends Samson the Alpha. I found 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple enjoyable, but not particularly meaty compared to its predecessor. The humanity and reverence for death found in the last film are spare in this film, which mostly focuses on the chaos brought on by the Jimmies and Dr. Kelson's descent into hopelessness, is the best way I could describe it. The script by Alex Garland is high quality, but unfortunately feels like a retread of similar storylines in The Walking Dead, which was kind of a criticism I had with the last film. We have seasons and seasons after of The Walking Dead, which is basically dealing with the same thing. Like, how do you recreate society after the apocalypse, and what are the weird cults of personality that follow? Nia DaCosta's direction is respectful towards Danny Boyle's style established in the previous films in the series, while showing her own style with flair. The standouts in the film are Jack O'Connell, who played Sir Jimmy Crystal, and of course Ray Fiennes as Dr. Kelson. O'Connell balances the two sides of portraying a cult leader well, maintaining a believable facade of delusion and inspiration, while also showing the con man manipulator that lurks behind the curtains. O'Connell takes the great dialogue and makes it come alive through its performance, and it is as enjoyable to watch in this as he was in Sinners. Ray Fiennes gets to play around a little more in this film. Instead of the stolid and enigmatic character from the last film, we get to see his humanity, practicality, and loneliness filled out and explored in this film. The best part of the movie features him getting to display his own theatrics to the Jimmies, which left me laughing out loud in the theater in which I was the only person. If you didn't like 28 Years Later because of the lack of zombies, you will be disappointed here as well. They play almost no part in this film, with the exception of the tranquilized Samson. It really is about the Jimmies and Dr. Kelson and very little else in the world. Overall, it was a highly enjoyable, although slightly less so than the last film. I give it a score of 8 out of 10 since I gave the last film a 9 out of 10. But I still really liked it. I thought it was a lot of fun. What did you guys think?
Well,
Mandy, why don't you share?
Okay. I also agree with Bryce on 8 out of 10 for my score. I liked this one probably almost as well as I liked the last one, but the tone was definitely different. The last one was very heavy. You know, there's parts in it where I was literally crying because the material was so heavy, whereas this one was a little bit lighter, but there definitely were parts where I was laughing. So it was a much different tone. It was a different movie, but I still liked it as well. And knowing that it's part of a trilogy kind of adds to it for me a little bit, because there's still unanswered questions from even the first one still. So this is kind of like the middle child, and I am definitely anxious to see where it goes, but I did very much enjoy this movie. And like I said, I'm also an 8 out of 10.
Cool. Yeah, I'm very similar to you guys, but it seems like we had different reasons. So I liked this a lot, and I liked the first one a lot. I think the problem I had with the first one, and I think I gave the first one like an 8 or a 9. Like, I gave it a very high score, but my problem with it was it seemed like a movie that was mainly there to set up more movies. Like, it feels like a very powerful storyline, very emotional storyline, but a storyline that kind of ends in a place where there's not a lot going on, and it's kind of just setting up more stories to happen. And so I felt a little disappointed by the ending, because it didn't feel like a full movie. It felt like half of a movie cut off. That being said, it was still really good. This one felt more like it could be a sort of standalone thing. Now, there's some things that you need to know about from the first one, but for the most part, this story is pretty end to finish, or start to finish. And I liked that about it. I thought it was really fun. The beginning was a little slow for me, but it really picked up. The second half was so fun. And yeah, I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. I thought it was better than the first one, actually.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting thinking about it as a standalone film, because for me, I don't think it can operate as a standalone film without the first one setting it up. But, I mean, the Jimmies is kind of the non sequitur at the end, so it doesn't necessarily need that.
All you really need to know
with,
is the doctor, and he has a bone temple.
Yeah, and you need to know that he has a relationship with Spike already. But yeah, in terms of operating as a middle point for a trilogy, it doesn't really. It's kind of odd that they left it so standalone that it's not like necessary in a trilogy as a second. Usually the second film in the trilogy like is the act 2 of the overall story structure, which is usually like a lot of bad shit happens and the heroes don't really win in the end to set up the third film. And yeah, like you said, this feels more of a standalone film in that sense, but I feel like you'd still need to see the first one to fully appreciate this one, just because a lot of the world building is necessary in the first one to make it feel like it's a full movie. in the Bone Temple, but I don't know. I'd be curious to hear what the listeners think about this. Does it work as a standalone film, or does it work better as a part of a trilogy?
And there's kind of a non sequitur at the end of this one too. Like it we'll get into spoilers. I don't want to spoil it right now, but like it ends in a way where it's like it doesn't necessarily set up the next movie, but it tells you what the next movie is going to be about.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's definitely fan service. People that are fans of the original are going to be fans of the ending of the movie. Okay, so we all liked it. I definitely recommend people go see it in theaters. I saw it on Thursday afternoon at like 4, and I was the only person in the theater. But I doubt that's indicative of how popular the movie actually is going to be.
There was like 3 people in my theater too. It's just no one goes to movies.
Yeah, I agree. I had my boyfriend and I went. We only had like a couple people, but we also went at 4:00 as well.
Yeah, I mean, 28 years later was really successful. Like I thought it made a lot of money, enough to justify putting out this movie. So, we'll see. But I'm sure the third one in this trilogy is going to make bank, just because of the cast. But yeah, we'll get into that in the spoilers. But first, we got to listen to some commercials. Womp womp. And me belching. So if you're listening to commercials, you should know that you don't have to. You can always go to Patreon.
Dude, we should have a Patreon level that's belch free.
I would never want to do that much editing. That's too much. Yeah, so go to Patreon. There's a tier where you get early access to episodes right after we finish editing them, and they don't have any ads like this one. You can also go to our shop at horrormovietalk.com/shop and buy some logo tees, some stickers, some buttons. Who knows what you can find on that shop. Probably the stuff that's been there for years. And also check out our resident artist, Dustin Goebel. He's on Instagram at dgoebel00. That's DGOEBEL00. He's also got a personal project he's working on called Forain. That's on Instagram as well at FORRAEIN. I think that's right. And he just released, or is releasing, chapter 2 of it. It's a graphic novel that's kind of medieval, sci-fi, philosophical graphic novel that I really enjoy. I'm looking forward to the rest of the story. He sent me and Max a copy of chapter 2, and I ate it up immediately. So check that out and support him, because he supports us with artwork every week. Also, if you want to listen to a commercial, listen to this one. And then go to your phone and call us at 682-253-4468 and leave us a voicemail. Thanks again for listening. Let's get into spoilers. All right, so the film starts out with the Jimmies taking Spike to a abandoned pool, and he's given the opportunity to initiate into the group by fighting to the death one of the other Jimmies with a knife. It's a knife fight, and which is a little odd because we find out that the Jimmies are led by kind of the King Jimmy, and then there's 7.
Big Jim.
Their Lord Jimmy.
Yeah, the Lord Jimmy, Sir Jimmy Crystal. And there's 7 other Jimmies, and they're the fingers of Jimmy. Like, why not go for 10? Why, do the fight to the death? when you're at 7?
Because 7 is the number that represents perfection and completion. It's complete. It's full.
Why not 6? I mean, if you're gonna have a Satanist cult, why not go all in on the numerology?
Yeah, this is why the beginning was hard for me, and why the end of the first movie was hard for me too. Is it took me a while to get into the cult of Jimmy. Like, they are just so cringe, and that's kind of indicative of Satanists in general. And I don't mean that to be offensive.
No,
because
you're not going to piss off Satanists, are you?
Listen, I think if you're a Satanist out there listening, you do you, and I think that's great for you. I've actually met some Satanists, and they were all nice people. I've read the Satanic Bible a couple of times. It's not great, but
I mean, Satanists aren't actually worshiping Satan. They're literally just atheists.
I think that's the thing, is like
trolls.
real Satanists, quote unquote, real Satanists are much more like normal people.
Mm-hmm.
It's people like this in this movie that are cringe.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's the thing. They're introduced at the end of the first, at the end of 28 years later, and it's such a non sequitur. It's literally just like, they're the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, or like the Power Rangers doing flips and stuff in this chasm, and they meet Spike, and it's so tonally different that, I mean, I loved it. I loved that it was a big swing. But I also love that they did not like go all in on the acrobatics in this movie. It was much more of just like a mercenary group, and they're obviously excellent at killing, but they weren't gonna call the Zorg, they weren't going to call out the mech warriors and combine into the mighty Megazord. But it was much more focused on just the realism and the cult aspect of this group. So anyways, they fight to the death, and the one Jimmy is just toying with Spike and just playing with him like a cat plays with a toy, and then Spike gets I don't know if you could say, I don't think you could say a lucky shot, because for what we understand from the first film, Spike is very capable and is very educated in survival. And so he stabs the guy right in the artery in his leg. And if you know anything about getting stabbed in the arteries, you're fucked. Like, that's
game over.
Yes.
Yeah. I think it could be considered a lucky shot just because, I mean, you can be resourceful and you can be competent, but that guy was like 20 years old fighting an 11-year-old kid. Like,
yeah,
there's not much hope there, even if you are really good with a knife.
And Spike still clearly has empathy for people at this point. He can kill the infected, but he still very much has empathy for people.
Yeah. Later in the film, it shows that they give the person, I don't know if this is for everyone or if they just gave it to the person halfway through the film, but they gave them the choice of who to fight with. And I'm curious why Spike would choose the tallest, lankiest guy in the group. Like, in general, if you're going to fight, don't fight someone with a longer reach than you, in my opinion. Especially in a knife fight.
Yeah. And he had a much bigger knife.
I don't know. I mean, that's my question is, did they let him pick? Because they let the guy later in the movie pick.
Right. Yeah. I don't know if they let Spike pick, though, or if it was just like, you're fighting this guy.
Mm-hmm. So I think his name, that Jimmy's name, was Jimmy Shite. So maybe he just went off of the name and was like, well, that guy sucks. Was that right? Is that the same guy?
I was getting all the Jimmys confused.
Yes.
There's a lot of Jimmys.
Very hard to keep the Jimmy straight.
Maybe it was Jimmy. I don't know. It's hard to say. So anyways, that's he beats the other Jimmy and he gets inducted into the group. And they walk off and he gets his wig. How familiar are you guys with the whole concept of Jimmy Savile?
Oh,
Or
I am.
who they're actually. Max, do
Yeah.
you have any idea
Not super
why
familiar.
who they're referring to as Jimmys?
It
Not
certainly
really.
fits the story now.
Right, exactly. So Jimmy Savile was this very charismatic media personality in the UK. And he was a DJ, but also like had I think several shows on the BBC. One of the main ones was like a charity show where he did Jimmy Fix It, and he just goes and like finds a problem and like gives them a lot of money or solves a problem for him or whatever. So he's got this personality that's kind of this edgy DJ guy, and he's got that, shock of bleach blonde hair and just kind of a ridiculous look. And he goes around and is, does good, quotation marks. And everyone loves Jimmy Savile. And then almost immediately after his death, it comes out that he was probably one of the most eminent child rapists in the UK.
What?
He used his fame to, sexually assault not only the children that were on his show, but also used his fame to get access to, like, children dying of cancer and molest them, and children in
Holy
like
crap.
the hospital and stuff. So basically, like, his show is basically like the equivalent to, what's it called here? What's the Wish company?
Make-A-Wish.
Make-A-Wish?
Make-A-Wish. He's basically, the show is Make-A-Wish. And so it's basically if Make-A-Wish was was led by Jeffrey Epstein. That's what Jimmy Savile is. So this is before, like, in the timeline of 28 Days Later, like, none of that was revealed. He was just a media personality that the main Jimmy latched onto because of whatever, and like started this cult of Jimmys, and turns out to be satanic, and it turns out that Jimmy Savile was pretty close with Satan as well,
Accurate.
So then we go from there to I think, does it start out, is the cold open the three people getting attacked by zombies, or was the cold open actually Spike?
It was actually Spike.
Yeah. Okay. So then we go to just kind of a scene where it feels like they're like, well, we got to put zombies in here somewhere.
Yeah.
And it has the family attacked by zombies. And this is one of the observations I had. So the Jimmys, are obviously super efficient at killing zombies, to the point where they're basically superheroes. They're the Power Rangers. They're not going to get hurt.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to like take them out. This is 28 years later. And so to me, survivors like the Jimmys, who are basically invincible against the zombies, shouldn't be surprising. Like, if you've survived for 28 years, you figured it out. Like, and you figure out a way for it not to be dangerous. It's the survivors that after 28 years later still get killed by zombies that should be unbelievable. So like this guy that's like, I guess I'll just go behind the zombie and crunch on this branch. Like, that feels more unbelievable. It's like, seriously, you haven't figured it out after 28 years?
And they're literally
His
also
character-
coming at them with pointy sticks.
Right,
That was their
exactly.
weapon. It's pointy sticks.
Yeah, his character did feel a little unbelievable. Like it felt like this was his first time out venturing away from the farm. Like he's going, they're like, don't bother that zombie. He's gonna scream. And then he goes up, and when he does stab him, he stabs him like in the
In
shoulder.
the chest. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, and it's like he screams and more zombies come. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's, other than later in the film when Samson is attacked by zombies, that's really the only significant zombie attack in
Mhm.
this movie. So it's not a zombie movie, as much as you associate that with 28 Days Later. It's more of a post-apocalyptic movie. It's closer to like The Road than it is to, Night of the Living Dead. Then it cuts to Dr. Kelson, Ray Fiennes, and he's trying to get Samson the Alpha's attention. And is that right? Is that where it starts out?
I think Samson kind of just finds him and
Mhm.
starts running towards him. So he pulls out his blow dart and shoots him with morphine, this is maybe the best part of the movie, is they start a bromance over morphine. Like Samson just loves it, and it makes him totally docile.
Mhm.
And he keeps coming back to the doctor almost like a dog who's been fed once,
Yeah, it's the story of domestication of wolves,
Mhm.
You get the wolves super high, and then they'll keep coming back. Yeah, so again, yeah, that is a great part of the movie, is the bromance between Samson and Dr. Kelson. Doesn't feel like Dr. Kelson is trying to fuck Samson, but it's not that far off, Could be possible.
There's definitely some vibes between them.
Yeah.
Some brotherly love.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're doing nothing but throwing out and dancing together.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Anytime they start dancing, I
Eventually-
love that.
He eventually does give him a loincloth, which is, it helps for the audience to focus on the movie.
It's true.
Yeah.
Because
There's a lot of like,
I need to I need to mention this. In the theater there was like a elderly couple sitting behind me.
yeah.
And when Samson comes out and he's, totally naked and he's ripping a head off,
Uh-huh.
the woman behind me goes, "Oh, this film is just gross."
I can't wait to be the elderly person that just goes to whatever's on the theater. He's like, I got nothing to do.
Mhm.
I'm just going to go to the theater and hang out all day and see everything, and then just be shocked that, the movie that I'm seeing features, horrific violence. You're like, oh, well, this is nasty. But also the same people that are like, oh, this is gross. I bet they didn't leave though, right?
No, they were there the whole
Yes.
time.
Well,
Which
they
is
paid that
great.
money.
I
Yeah.
respect that. I respect, like, I've seen everything. Like, this is gross, but I get it. I
Yeah.
appreciate it for what it is. So I'm gonna, I'm gonna wait it out, see how this goes.
I also did like the shot at the beginning where it was where one of the first times you see Samson, and he's literally just sitting there. He ripped a guy's skull off, and he's just
Mhm.
sitting there eating brains,
Mhm.
just straight up zombie, eating the brains out of the skull with his little pack of zombies.
Mhm.
Did that brain not look kind of delicious? Like it looked like salmon almost.
I mean, he liked it.
It is very fatty, from what I understand. High nutritional content.
Mm-hmm.
That's why
Then you get all the memories and
That's true.
Well, it must be the best part because Samson's the alpha, so he gets first choice.
that's what he gets,
I mean,
but that is how you do get Jakob Creutzfeldt syndrome, isn't it?
yeah, I think so.
I mean, yeah, there's probably repercussions for eating the brain of a person.
What is it? I can't remember. Is that mad cow disease?
I think it's similar to mad cow disease. I don't know if it's the exact same thing.
Yeah, that's if you want to know, like, the most horrifying disease that you can get is that what is it called? Prion. Any kind of prion disease that just attacks your brain is terrifying. Anyways.
I mean, we talked about rabies last week, and that was pretty horrifying too.
Yeah, that's pretty horrifying too. Do you ever have to deal with any rabies things, Mandy?
No, thankfully. It's very rare. Sometimes something comes in that, and if it's dead, you have to cut its head off and send it out. And it's not, there's not a lot of it around this area, thankfully. And it is law that you have to get your pet's rabies shots. So there's a reason for that. And as people say, well, my cat doesn't go outside. I'm like, well, do bats get in your house? Because bats can have rabies. They can crawl through little cracks and get in your house. So.
And you wouldn't even know that they bit you.
No,
You know?
That's the scariest part about it. So.
Could not even leave a mark, know?
No. So, no, thankfully we don't have to cut a lot of things heads off, although, some people do kind of enjoy that stuff just because it's different and gross and, vet techs are weird people.
Do you use that, like, what they have at the schools, like the paper chopper? It's just like shunk.
No, I think usually they use honestly, I think they actually usually use like the ghillie wire where you just, saw it. Yeah.
And if it's a small enough cat, you could just take big scissors.
Yeah. Well, I think one time somebody did, if I recall, somebody did bring in a bat that they thought maybe had rabies and wanted it sent out. So we ended up having to package and send it out. I mean, it wasn't alive. It was dead. They had killed it already.
Yeah.
But they wanted it sent out and they didn't know how to go about it. So, and I don't even know if it was so small, I don't even think we had to cut its head off. But yeah, it happens once in a while. But I've never seen a case of it, and I never want to see a case because, that's horrifying.
I remember you mentioned the ghillie wires. Another one of our listeners, who's the namesake of the "I've got big tits and a tiny vagina" soundbite in the intro. Wow, I can't remember her name right now.
Glittercore, right?
That's it. Yeah, Glittercore.
Yeah, see, I've been around.
Oh yeah,
that
you've
long.
probably talked with her on Facebook, probably.
Probably back in the day, yeah.
But Glittercore, she's a nurse, and her introduction to us was talking about amputations. So she sent like a video of a ghillie sawing off like an entire human thigh, which is surprisingly efficient. Like,
it is.
Cuts like butter.
Like literally like 10 seconds.
Yeah.
To take off an entire thigh. So.
And it's such a simple tool.
It's true. I mean, I think those paper choppers or, some Cutco shears would probably take care of most stuff that comes across your desk.
If it's small.
In terms of cutting off animal heads.
Probably.
Let's see, what else? What other notes? Oh,
so the Jimmies kind of invade this farm group and hold them hostage while they're eating their food and make it clear that they're going to kill them. And oh boy, do they.
Yeah.
In a horrifying way.
Yeah, it's a menacing scene when the guy that attacks with his prong and gets immediately devoured by the zombies
Lucky.
and Samson. the two survivors run back to their farm that's locked off, and they find the Jimmies sitting at the table and just being menacing pricks towards the family that lives there. And they don't really slow roll at all. Like Jimmy, the Sir Jimmy is trying to be charming and tell his stories and jokes and whatnot and insist on the people's hospitality, but pretty quickly he's like, oh yeah, and also, well, obviously we're going to kill you. So it ramps up very quickly. And then they go to the barn.
Yeah, the barn scene is really where the movie picked up for me. Like, it gets intense fast, and they're hanging up on hooks like meat. And they explain that, like, before they kill people, they do charitable acts for them.
Mm-hmm.
And today's charitable act is skinning your entire torso.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, the shirt.
Mhm.
Yeah. And yeah, I think the charitable act thing, I think that comes from the Jimmy Savile thing, which is like, oh yeah, we're going to do something nice for you. And is this where they kind of go over the indoctrination and like the theology of the
Yeah, I think
we
of
do
the
get a
groupers
little
that
bit
come
of that.
later? Very quickly, Sir Jimmy describes like who they are and basically says that this plague has entered the world because of old Nick. And unlike God, which is invisible, and he describes him as not able to fight through a wet paper bag, God is absentee and doesn't really have any power. Old Nick is going to come and wipe away man off of the face of the earth, and the Jimmies are his hand and his way of enforcing his will and starting a new world with supposedly Sir Jimmy as the lead of it, as the son of old Nick.
He's like an antichrist figure. Like he's the son of the devil and here to do his work.
Yeah.
And on another note, have either of you guys ever heard of Satan referred to as old Nick? Because that was new for me. I'd never heard that before.
I hadn't either.
I don't think so. I think I did the connection in my head, which is old Nick, like my initial like connection was like he must mean like Santa Claus, like Saint Nick.
That's what I was thinking at first too.
And then I made the connection of like, oh, Saint Nick, satanic, so it's like, oh, I bet that's the connection that they're making, which is like, satanic, Saint Nick, old Nick, kind of thing. Because it's old Saint Nick, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. There's got to be. I want to learn like the etymology of that.
I mean, when I
Old
just
Nick.
randomly Googled it, and it was just kind of like, yeah, it's a thing that they say in UK sometimes. I'm like, okay. I didn't dig into it a lot, but
Oh yeah, I guess old Nick is okay. I guess it's a direct thing. Old Nick is common informal nickname for the devil, Satan, or Lucifer. All right.
Yeah, that's
I wonder if that is like a Cockney rhyming slang kind of thing where it's like, I don't know, maybe I'm stretching. But I'm still going to interpret it in my mind that it's a bastardization of old Saint Nick
I like that better.
and satanic. So yeah, they describe that they're like, that Sir Jimmy is the son of Satan, and they're going to, fuck up the world in his name. And they do the removal of the shirt, which is flaying or skinning the people hung upside down, and one of the survivors, the pregnant woman that escapes, is witnessing this, and then the last guy that's there, the leader Jimmy, just realizes, like, we probably could use this guy since he's able-bodied and strong. Like, maybe we should give him a chance.
Right, so he has to fight someone of his choice, and he chooses... And keep in mind, Spike, the youngest and obviously most frail and easy to kill, is not in there because he couldn't handle the torture. Like, he was throwing up and needed to leave. So he chooses one of the women who is kind of doing a hustle? She's looking weak and like sad on the floor. And when he chooses her, she stands up and immediately just smiles and is very ready to kill him.
She's the most psychotic.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. As a side note, how did the Jimmies keep their tracksuits so fucking clean?
Right.
I don't know.
And where do they get these tracksuits?
Sir Jimmy has, it's not just a tracksuit. Sir Jimmy has a velour tracksuit.
He's got drip.
A velvet tracksuit. How can you live in the post-apocalypse and have that much drip? Like, and their faces are all like muddied and stuff. They're like, they are dirty, but somehow their tracksuit is pristine. And
Scotch Guard,
you're never,
clearly.
I guess, or maybe they found a warehouse of tracksuits that they just have an unlimited supply of.
They just have a duffel bag just full of tracksuits.
Yeah. That is like the one thing that pulled me out. I'm like, how are those tracksuits so fucking clean? Like, not even blood on them,
Well, on that note, I always just generally think, a lot of time you're watching these zombies run around completely naked, and then some of them have clothes. They're tattered clothes. That's like, have they been like that for 20 years, 28 years, or are they a fresh zombie? Because some of them look like 28-year zombies still wearing clothes, and that doesn't make any sense to me either.
Yeah. I think the ones that they show that are supremely old, like they're the ones that are like crawling around on the ground naked. I think the ones that are still like mobile and running around, it's probably implied that they're more recent. But
well, Samson,
yeah.
How old is Samson? Because this is the real question. How do they stay so buff? Because Samson is ripped, and he's probably doing a lot of physical exercise. He's running all over the place, attacking people. However, this man has steroid levels of muscles. Well,
I mean, he is eating the brain, so he's eating like the high calorie,
most nutritious part.
True.
But yeah, you don't see him. Oh, well, ripping spines.
Yeah.
That probably is some decent, it's like a clean and jerk, equivalent to.
It is like a clean and jerk.
Doing weights of just like, you try to rip the spine out of someone.
Or
you
it's
see
like,
how
the bands that they, those stretch bands that they use, ripping those spines out.
Exactly.
That would actually be a great flashback shot of Samson before the zombie outbreak, just at the gym doing like or like pulling something up.
He's doing like kettlebells with a head,
a one-handed clean and jerk.
Yeah. He's like taking the hair of some guy and like flipping it over his, his arm, just like a kettlebell. Yeah. I mean, that is one of the more unbelievable parts is Samson, but I mean, you gotta love the giant guy with a huge dick.
It's very scary.
Being the alpha zombie.
Another thing I'd like to point out that this movie does really well is there's a couple jump scares, and they worked on me every time. Like, I feel like I've gotten pretty desensitized to jump scares in horror movies. Every time there was a jump scare in this movie, I freaked out.
I can't remember where they were. What were they?
I mean, it's usually just when the zombies pop out. Like
There was
it's-
one where Spike was trying to run away from the Jimmies. And he was just kind of trying to quietly sneak away. And then a zombie ran out. That one got me. That one definitely got me.
Yeah. Okay, so let's go back to Dr. whatever his name is. Ian
Kelson.
So he is just living his best life with Samson. Like Samson is out of his gourd, just chilling, and Dr. Kelson is, you see him like his little hobbit hole that he's created, and he's like just a huge fan of Duran Duran, and doing his little dances, and then he's like, hey, maybe I can get Samson to fucking dance. So like they're having their dance parties, and I just love it, like that it's just showing Dr. Kelson just kind of losing it. Like he's slowly, just not giving a fuck. The fact that like Dr. Kelson is like, yeah, maybe I'll just lick the morphine off of this poison dart and then just passing out, and this is like the first or second time that he's with Samson. It's like a real risk. And he's like, well, I guess my head wasn't ripped off, so that's nice. And he keeps working with Samson to the point where he's going to run out of morphine, and he's like, all right, well, this isn't going to work out. I don't see any improvement. And he's about to give Samson a lethal dose, and Samson goes, MOON, that spells moon.
Moon.
Dr. Kelson was like, what the fuck? And so he has hope that like actually this is improving Samson, that actually letting him, away from the rage for a time seems to be helping him psychologically, because he's able to use language.
And that's when he realizes that not only is there like a rage component to this, but there's something psychological is happening to where the humanity is being stripped away and they are seeing delusions. So he
I think it was
starts working on a concoction to fix that.
I think it was interesting that when you're kind of looking at Samson and when he keeps drugging him, you keep seeing him kind of slowly changing. If you're kind of noticing those things, like even his eyes and face kind of look different when he's on the drugs. And then he starts wearing the loincloth. And then at one point he goes in and picks those berries. And you see him put the berries in his mouth, and then he wipes his fingers on the loincloth. And it's just like those little tiny things that you're kind of noticing that he's becoming a little more human.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the eyes are the windows to the soul. So like it starts out with Samson's eyes are literally like bugging out of his skull and like red. And it gets to the point where like they start looking, more like just bloodshot eyes and not like actually bulging out of his head. And there's a montage, and Dr. Kelson uses science to, come up with a cure, and here's attempted a cure, and then gives Samson a bunch of pills, and it works in the end. And there's a great scene where Samson goes back to the train, and he has a flashback of like what he was doing at the time of the outbreak, and then comes to, and all the zombies are attacking him, and he is aptly named Samson and kicks their ass.
Yeah, the sad part about this is, it's really cool that it works. Like he still has like major brain fog and is very animalistic, but he can talk. Like he has like a vision of his past, and he says, I don't have a ticket for the train. He says that like out loud to the zombies that all start attacking him. So it works, But also, psychosis meds only work if you take them like every day. Like,
Right. That's true.
Homeboy's gonna be raging in a few hours.
I mean, the implication is that it actually cured the virus.
Yeah.
In the end, and that he actually is immune to it. The fact that he's alive and has intelligence, even affected with the rage virus, because like they established in the first movie that he's like a different kind of species from the other zombies. Like him being the alpha, like there's an amount of intelligence and leadership that isn't in the other ones. So that's interesting. So the main plot line that goes to the end of the movie is the girl in the red tracksuit, Jimmy, sees Samson with Dr. Kelson and interprets that as like, oh, it's old Nick. Like it's Satan, and he's got one of his demons with him down at the Bone Temple.
Mm-hmm. And he's covered in what, iodine or whatever, so he's like all
got
red.
red skin.
Yeah.
So she goes back and reports it to Sir Jimmy. And I love this whole plot line of Jimmy, of the red tracksuit Jimmy, like laying the groundwork to usurp Sir Jimmy, and Sir Jimmy understanding that like, this could be a problem, but also an opportunity. Like all the gears working in Sir Jimmy's head as he's working out in his head what to do with Dr. Kelson is great. Like this is the best part of the movie, I think. And again, I think it's like a great balancing act of him showing that he does believe in it, or at least says things in a way to portray that he believes what he's talking about, while at the same time obviously manipulating things to his benefit in his own narrative.
Mm-hmm.
And so going to Dr. Kelson is like, so you're old Nick, right? Dr. Kelson's like, nah, bro. No, I'm a doctor. And he's like, are you sure you're not old Nick? Because if you're not old Nick, I might have to kill you. Dr. Kelson's like, that's me, old Nick. And and then it's obvious that there was more of a conversation to basically for the Sir Jimmy to basically told, okay, bro, this is what I need from you. I'm going to bring down my bros and you got to tell them to listen to me. And this is the absolute best part of the movie. Like I loved this part.
It's pretty
where
cool.
Dr. Kelson goes full metal and full theatrical, pulls out like his sound system and puts on Iron Maiden, the Number of the Beast, and just starts dancing around and going full Voldemort, singing to the song. And for these kids who have probably never heard music in their lives, let alone, amplified guitar, this would be the most impressive thing they've ever seen in their life. And then, of course, they use pharmaceuticals to accentuate their reaction, blows, I assume, some kind of hallucinogenic into their face. And it's great. It's so great. Did you guys enjoy this part as much as I did?
I loved it. I started laughing immediately when he's like, I'm going to have to turn it up to 11. And then just starts doing all this stuff. It was just amazing and over the top, and I loved it. Every part of it.
It was a lot of fun. And he just looks like a classic Satan.
Right.
Like he's got the face for it, and it just works so well.
I mean, it's fucking Voldemort. Of course he could do it.
Right.
So he comes down and then he does like the whole song and dance, literally, and tells the Jimmies, like, here's the 3 things that I have to tell you. Number 1, You got to go out and keep doing what you're doing. I love what you're doing. Number 2. What was number 2? Oh, you got to get more Jimmies. And then number 3, you got to listen unquestioningly to Sir Jimmy, because he's my son. And all is going great. This is obviously like the 3 things that Sir Jimmy told him to tell the other Jimmies. And then Dr. Kelson realizes that Spike is one of them, and he's like, "Ah, shit." Actually, one more thing. We got to crucify Sir Jimmy because he's my son, which is a great turn.
It is a great turn.
And then he's attacked, and half of the Jimmies get killed by the red tracksuit Jimmy. But yeah, it's a great ending. Great comeuppance for Jimmy Crystal, and sets it up so the lone survivors are Spike, the red tracksuit Jimmy, and Samson cured.
Right, because Ian does get stabbed and he's bleeding out. And there's kind of like some emotional moments there. They do crucify Jimmy, and then Samson comes in, and this is just so great. Like, he is pretty cognitively there. He's talking in sentences and like picks him up and like carries him away. It's beautiful.
Yeah, and he thanks him for curing him, and then the epilogue is Spike and the girl. We see that they're being chased by zombies from the viewpoint of Jim from 28 Days Later. So Cillian Murphy is shown teaching his daughter history, and then they see the Jimmies running in the field and save them. So it's a setup to the final installment of 28 Years Later, and we get the legacy character back, and we'll be able to see what happens with them, which is great fan service.
Yeah, this is one of the moments in horror movies where I don't mind a legacy character. Like, it didn't feel forced. It didn't.
No.
Like, it's not necessary by any means, but it didn't feel like, here's a person we're going to put in this movie so that we make money. Like, it just felt like natural. So,
right. Oh, well, that's probably what the third movie will feel like, though. We'll see how successfully they use that character. This is the last point that I didn't cover in my notes. Wouldn't it be great if when Samson was cured, his dick got a lot smaller?
Yes.
Just there was a trade-off. I'm like, oh man.
Do you want the intelligence or do you want the big dick? You get to pick.
Yeah.
The rage made him huge. Like a forearm.
Yeah, like it's kind of scary coming at you, running at you like that.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
What's more terrifying, being ripped apart by Samson or getting approached by that massive hog and not knowing how to react?
Yeah. Very good point.
I feel sorry for that actor that plays Samson, because that's not him. That's a prosthetic. Like, he's gonna have to go through life with those expectations. Like, when next time he dates a woman, it's like, you're Samson from, like, yes, let's go get a drink, and then just be like, oh.
Listen, that man, his body in general is massive. I'm sure he's fine.
He's 6'9". He's 6'9". I looked him up to see how tall he was. He's 6'9".
I doubt that man is lacking in any form. There.
I mean, they probably just modeled it after him and then just stuck the prosthetic over it just to be like, now the kid can't see his actual dick.
It's possible. Well, more research is needed. I'll
Why
stay
don't you
tuned. We'll
reach
figure it
out, see if we can get it. See if we can get an interview with him, so we can ask
Yeah,
him
I've
that
got
question.
IMDb Plus. We probably
Yeah.
could. Maybe that's the one person that we can get a hold of.
And you know those other horror movie shows aren't going to ask about the dick. You know they're not. So if you want to hear about that, you need to come here.
It's true. You know, there's actually, I wonder if we could get him on, because he's not like, he's mostly a stuntman, I think.
Hmm.
As
Yeah, I
an
think
actor.
so.
Like his top credits are Gladiator 2, which is a named character, Phoebus, and then Craven the Hunter, stunts, Expendables 4, stunts, and Heart of Stone, stunts. So, I don't know, it's possible.
Yeah, reach out.
Okay, so what's the main takeaway from 28 years later, The Bone Temple?
I want to party with Dr. Kelson. That's my
That is the
takeaway.
Yeah, I think like I said, I enjoyed this one even more than the first one. So if you got some free time and a few extra dollars, go see this in theaters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely go see it. It is definitely worth the watch. And if you, I mean, I feel like if you like the first one, they're completely different tones, but you got some of the same characters and you're moving on with that story. I like them the same for different reasons.
Indeed. Yeah. Full recommend all around. Let's get into horror movie horrors.
Whores.
All right.
How many do we have today?
Got like 6.
All
Yeah,
right.
we got 6. So horror movie horrors is just a segment where we listen to your voicemails. If you want to call us, call 682-253-4468. So that's straight from the dome. I didn't even look at it.
Beautiful.
Here is our messages.
Horror movie talk. It is I, Dennis. I bet you have not been missing my calls, but I've been busy. This gimmick took a lot out of me. I have canceled my Patreon subscription and upgraded my real one. But I just wanted to put an end to this gimmick and say a few things as a final goodbye. I know it's been a while, but you all know that you gave The Long Walk a low score because you hate walking. and Sydney and Max, we all know that you're a secret fascist because you're always giving Bryce a hard time for using Canopy. And we know that fascists hate the public libraries. Well, it's been fun being Dennis. And keep listening to the podcast as a normie. I hope you have a Merry Christmas and have a wonderful next year.
You know, fascists do hate libraries, and that's why I go to the library every day.
You liar.
You don't think I like the library?
Libraries are great. People don't talk enough about how great libraries are. And the fact that I don't have to go to the library and I can check out books that go to my Kindle and I can stream movies and TV shows and documentaries for free. And you look down on me for whenever I mention Hoopla.
We tried getting Hoopla set up for me, and it doesn't accept my local library. Like, it's not available, so I just can't use
because you live in
Hoopla.
Idaho, a fascist state.
Yeah. Actually, this is actually true in a sense that our libraries are policed pretty heavily. Like, you have to, I talked to you about this when they first made this change, but you have to have your ID showing that you're 18 to go into the library because there's books that they don't want kids checking out. Like, it's insane.
Yeah. It's yeah. That's crazy.
Hey guys, Corey from Columbus. Just calling to talk about the Five Nights at Freddy's 2 review. God damn, that movie was hot fucking trash. I don't get it. How can you have so much money to put into your effects, everything? You got $50 million they used. How much does it cost to buy a good writer? Write a good story. Indie movies do it all the time. It can't be that much. I understand that the people going to watch this movie don't really give a fuck, but try a little bit at least. Also, Bryce, I'm glad you picked up on the part where the lady's like, you're going to need a lawyer or guy. I don't fucking remember. It don't matter. But to talk about a lawyer, I was like, is this supposed to be funny? Is this a reference to something? But yeah, total bullshit. Also, it's been really fun to go from starting the podcast to see Sydney and go, oh man, what a cute girl that has, good taste in horror movies. I'd like to take her out on a date. To her starting to transition and her voice getting a little more sultry. And I'm like, ooh, yeah. Voice is getting sexy. I'd like to make out with her. To basically just a dude that I want to hang out, play video games with. It's been a fun journey. But all seriousness, it's been pretty cool to see your, transition and, how things are going week by week. Anyways, keep up the good work. All the podcast guys. Oh, and bring back the Adrian Brody song. That shit was fucking fire.
Oh, God. It's always there on YouTube. You can go and watch it anytime you want. Anytime we mention Adrian Brody with David on the show, it was prerequisite that was played in full.
Yeah. I actually think the Five Nights at Freddy's 2 was written exactly how they wanted it to be written. Right. It's by design.
Yeah. Now I have mixed feelings about Five Nights at Freddy's 2 because it was the biggest piece of shit movie, but we did get the most engagement by interviewing, what's her name?
Audrey.
So maybe I should be sucking up more to shitty movies to get more exposure. We just need to find like the movies that the shittiest horror movies that appeal to 12-year-olds and just be like, this is great.
I mean,
love
the problem
everything
is
about this.
Kind
if
of
you want to hear more
market.
about movies like this, listen to Horror Movie Talk.
We should start doing like a kid episode once a month.
It's true. I could enlist my daughter to be on and be Horror Movie Talk Junior. We all love Sydney. That was, a journey for all of us, along with Sydney through their transition. And I think, it's important to see people's stories and experience things with them to have more empathy for other people, going through the same thing. And I'm glad that, he was able to be on the show and show like a real human side of, for some reason, a prominent political issue in our country today, to show that like, no, this happens to people that and it's not as weird or nefarious as, some people make it out to be. And I mean, all iterations of Sydney were a good hang. So again, wish him the best on all future projects and want to support him any way we can. All right, next caller.
Welcome to Horror Movie Talk Horrors Canadian edition. Hello, my name is Mitch. I am from Great Way North up in Canada. I've listened to you guys for a long time. Let's get down to brass tacks here. Okay, let's just get out of the way. I want to be your so bad. I'm going to tell you all the reasons why I think I'd be great for the job. One, due to the fact I've listened a long time. Like, I know you really well. I've listened since the David days. the David days. Get it? Okay. And I think you guys have done amazing since then. Miss David, but love your stuff you got going on there. Max, you got some of the best one-liners I have ever heard in my life. You've got me rolling on the floor laughing. And Bryce, obviously, you're the GOAT, buddy. So that's first. Number two, I am basically a black woman in all ways, except for, lived experience, pigment of skin, and gender. Other than that, I'm like, I got that energy, I got that going. I think that you would like that, and just to show you guys. Sorry I haven't called before. I mean, it's been a long relationship I had with you guys. You don't even know because I've been so quiet. Mostly, I'm just a little bit of a nervous Nelly when it comes to leaving voicemails. I leave very bad voicemails, very awkward, very long, kind of protracted voicemails. So, anyways, love what you're doing. I do want to hear more of Mr. Ham. I want to know more about what motivates him. I want to know, does he have a family? Does he have, like, a really smart uncle, Professor Pork? Does he have maybe a couple kids, a couple bacon bits going on there, little kitties running around, little porkers? Does he have a wife? Do they pork frequently? I just want to know a little bit more. I just thought that was kind of undercooked. I loved it, and I think you guys have some exploring to do there. This is about it. I think I got to stop this down. I feel like this has gone on long enough. Love you guys. You've been in my ears for a long time, and it's good to kind of chat one way here. And we'll talk to you later on my guest host episode. Bye.
Yeah, Mr. Ham does want to come back. He's a little camera shy. However, to answer some of those questions, he does have a family. He doesn't like to talk about it because he's distantly related to John Pork, who was assassinated. And I think he would love to come back on. He lives in Utah, though, so I need to go back there to get him.
We got big plans for the Mr. Ham extended universe. For the show, so stay tuned, subscribe, and share the podcast on your favorite platform. Thanks Mitch for calling in. We'll see when we can get you on. I think full transparency, we're gonna get through the women first. To be honest, like I have no qualms about trying to fill in some diversity in the show. Luckily, over half of the people that have filled out the form to come on the show are female. So, hoping we'll find someone great. But that's not to say that it couldn't be a man. Who knows? You might also be in a stage of transition. Could be another way to get diversity. But yeah, most important is, like, is it a good hang? Is it fun? Is there chemistry? And that's fine. But
and it also could just be Mandy. You never know.
Could be Mandy.
Maybe the rest of the auditions are futile. We will see.
Who are the other auditions? We'll can you tell me where they live? I'm not asking for any reason at all.
No. Yeah. I tried to keep the questions to a minimum, so don't have all that detail. I do have all their emails if you want to send threatening emails to them.
Cool. We'll get that after.
I could get you the list.
Yeah, cool. Yeah. After we're done recording.
But yeah, sign up. I think on our Facebook we have it pinned on the Facebook group if you want to sign up to be considered for the guest host. I think right now we have. How many people do we have? We have 16.
Oh,
so that's already, if we were to get through just the people that have signed up in this last week, that's going to take 4 months to get through?
If we did one every week, yeah.
If we did one every week, so just keep that time frame in mind. Okay. Next caller.
Hey guys, it's Mitch again. I thought of you because I was walking down the streets of Canada. And someone stopped me and asked me, why do you think you would be a good guest host for a movie talk? And I said, well, first of all, confidence? Yes, I have confidence. Normally, I feel like I can't leave good voicemails, but look at me, 2 voicemails. Leaving voicemails, feeling very confident. And you know what? I think they're really great voicemails. Bam, confidence. They said, can you do accents? And I said, can I do an accent? Can I do an accent? Yes, I can do accents. You just heard it. I can do accents very, very well, actually. Is there a problem that I'm in Canada, you guys are in the States? Like, is there going to be some kind of a cultural divide there? Well, the scuttlebutt around Canada has been that we're possibly, the entire country is going to be your 51st state. So does that make us almost brothers? I think it does. I think it makes us almost brothers. And then they said, well, can you even improv? And I said, yes. And I can continue to improv all day, all night. I don't care. Canadian day, Canadian night. We just improv all the time. We have to improv. If you don't improv,
you get taken by the cold winters.
Okay, that's just a couple more reasons, and we'll talk later. Also, this call will be heavily tariffed, so just that'll come in the mail. Bye.
All right, Mitch, you're on the short list of the mails that are going to come on the show. Not going to lie.
I've been getting some Canadian propaganda in my algorithm, mainly because I have recently been just really upset with my own country. And so I think Canada's trying to slowly feed me videos about how cool Canada is. And it looks beautiful. I mean, I don't know. It looks beautiful, but it is propaganda. I will say that.
Well, I almost wonder if like Trump with the kind of overtures to Canada to that are with everything he does is like a borderline between like, hey, this would be a good idea for you, and also like, I'm going to invade your country because I want it, like he's doing with Greenland now. I almost wonder if he actually doesn't care at all about Canada or the land or the resources. It's literally just like all the liberals that moved to Canada or said that they're going to move to Canada after Trump was elected.
He wants them back.
It's like, well, you're back, motherfucker. What you going to do about it?
Dude, imagine the possibilities. I mean, I am not for taking over other people's countries. However, Canada is so big and there's no people in it, dude.
Right.
We could run that shit.
I mean, really what you're talking about is you're taking over a narrow strip of land.
Yeah.
That's below the, what is it? The 40, what is that parallel? The majority of, Canada population lives below the northern border of Washington, like in terms of parallel or whatever.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, you get it.
Yeah.
What do you think? Do you think we're going to invade Greenland, Max?
I honestly don't know because I didn't think we would take over Venezuela either. So, and now we have. So I don't know what we're going to
do. Yeah.
Isn't it crazy that we have a government that is constantly complaining, being like, our government is being destroyed by X, Y, and Z. And then at the same time, they're like, but we are good enough to run other people's governments. And we're going to do so.
Yeah.
I mean, this is like a real problem because obviously, it's very alarming going around the Constitution and, basically declaring war without an act of Congress. And like doing all these things are kind of disturbing and fascist. But he keeps doing things that are just kind of cool to bros. It's like, as a bro, I'm sorry, Gulf of America kicks ass. Like, I'm sorry. Like, as a bro, it's like, yeah, why shouldn't it be Gulf of America? And like, yeah, I don't want to, unilaterally invade other countries, but this just kidnapping a leader in the still of night, it's awesome. as a bro, it's like, that's pretty cool that you can just go in and just take someone and there's nothing they can do about it. It's like, you get the America Fuck Yeah song playing in your head. And it's very enticing, the broness of it, but also terrifying because what are next? What's the next step?
Yeah.
Invading an actual sovereign country and taking over land expansion. Yeah. Anyways, I'm very conflicted.
I mean, we've been in a situation where we've needed to swing our dicks a little bit to feel good. Like, that's what America has been doing for years, and then all of a sudden, for the last like couple decades, we've kind of just been, not swinging it enough. So I think seeing someone swing it a little bit for a lot of Americans is like enough to keep them, supportive.
I mean, America is Samson. We got that big old hog. And are you going to use it or not? And the other thing is, like, the only difference between what's been done in the last, 40 years and what just happened in Venezuela, the only difference is Trump is just open about it. Yeah, it was about oil. Like we said, it was about this other thing, but it's actually about oil.
Isn't that crazy?
And then even myself, I found myself clutching my pearls and like, how could we possibly do this? It's like, this is not our first rodeo. Like, we depose leaders all the time in South America with the CIA and military organizations to get their resources. It's not new. It's like the only difference is we're just open about it now. And again, the bro side of me is like, well, that's very refreshing that we're just again, swinging our dicks and being like, yeah, what are you gonna do about it? Like, we've done this for decades, deposed leaders when we didn't like them and got their resources, whether they liked it or not, regardless of international law. And now we're doing the exact same thing, regardless of international law. It's like, we're just like, yeah, it's just what we do. So, I don't know. Troubling. I don't want this podcast to become political. What am I doing? Now we're going to get a lot of voicemails. We're going to be able to do horror movie horrors next week from all the coastal elites calling it.
It truly is a problem because this is a horror movie show and we don't want to get into politics. Mm-hmm. But I would talk about this all day if that was the topic. Like,
right.
And it's so everywhere. You can't avoid it.
Yeah, it's in your face.
You can't avoid seeing it. So,
okay, next caller.
Hey, H&T, this is Tom from Texas again. I was calling. I just listened to part of the Silver Talk. Anyway, I was calling to throw in my name for the new co-host. I want a pretty good compensation plan. I was thinking $500 per episode, solid 401k, and 6 weeks vacation time. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoy your 2026, and maybe there'll be some room for David in some of the new episodes. All right. Anyway, bye.
Could be.
Yeah. I mean, how are you finding the compensation, Max?
Well, I was texting you yesterday about how I could only afford either popcorn or a drink, and I bought the drink and immediately wished I had popcorn. So that's about where the compensation is.
Wait a second. You guys told me if I was going to do this that I had to pay you.
Yeah. Well, you're going to give us so much of your time that it will be like you are paying us.
Yeah. Yeah. The compensation, I'll tell you, I'll open kimono. The compensation for the co-host role is you'll get access to pretty much any streaming platform, and we will pay for your movie tickets. So we pay for the subscription service to the movie. So like me and Max can go see any movie we want, really. And I'd also I offered this to Max, but again, it would require him spending money in the long term, which he's unwilling to do. But Regal, tell you what, they got a screaming deal. And I used it this last year, and I'm re-subscribed again. They have a deal where you can pay, I think this year it was only $30. $30, and for the entire year, you can get a large drink and a large popcorn for half price. You can either, or you can get two large drinks for half off, or two large popcorns for half off. But it's literally like, I mean, I get it every time now, whether I eat like 2 handfuls of popcorn and then put like the entire popcorn bucket on the floor and don't touch it. But like, I mean, for $4 or whatever, it's like you're just throwing away. You'd be throwing away money if you didn't buy it for that much. But anyways, no 401k, but we will allow you to invest your own money that you get from your own job into investments for yourself.
Okay, and to be fair, you've bought me a lot of equipment over the years, so
yeah, we'll buy anything that you need for the podcast if we bring you on. But then I will ask you to mail it back if you quit the podcast. Still haven't opened the treasure trove that Sydney sent back to us.
Well, you might as well just keep it wrapped up for the next person.
Right, exactly. But yeah, I mean, I don't know why anyone would volunteer to do this. I don't know how I tricked Sydney and Max to do it. It's a lot of work.
I'll tell you what, the first year, I would characterize it as a lot of fun. The second year, I would characterize it as tired and dramatic. That's how the second year was. So I'm ready for the third year to be fun again, hopefully.
Yeah, we're trying to cut down on the drama. But it creeps in.
It does.
Even with people outside the podcast.
Listen, even when I tell people, hey, I'm not upset and this wasn't a big deal for me. It still causes problems.
Final caller.
Hey everybody, hey Horror Movie Talk. It's Phil here from Dublin, Ireland. So I just listened to the Sixth Sense podcast, loved it, great movie, great review. But so I just listened to the voicemails, and you had a caller from Belfast as well. So that was great to hear, another Irish caller. So hello to her. And yay, go Ireland, 0.7% listenership. Brilliant. So yeah, this is just an appreciation call. Bryce, I love you to bits. Sydney and Max, I love you guys as well, just as much, almost as much as Bryce. But yeah, I just absolutely love what you guys are doing. It's such a comfort on my commute and my drive to work, and it's just great to listen to. So just keep going. That's all I'll say. And if you get a chance to review, here's an Irish horror movie called The Canal. So check that one out. I think it's an English-Irish production. So yeah, have a look at that. Cheers.
All right.
Interesting. I haven't heard of that. Yeah, I love that man when he calls in.
He's great. Keep calling.
What was his name?
I just want to hear that Irish brogue, you know?
Yeah.
And I love that he has the caveat of like, I love you almost as much as Bryce. You know, he corrected himself. He was like, I love you just as much. Well, almost as much as Bryce. So I'm glad that I still have the hearts and minds of listeners and cannot be usurped by my underlings.
You do. Well, we'll see. Maybe when I hit the 5-year mark, people will finally start liking me more than David. Although he's got some loyal home dogs on the Facebook group. Loyal.
Right. 3, I mean, this is it 3 years? No, 2 years. Almost 3 years since David has left full time the podcast, and people are still pining for David to come back. And I'll tell you what, David has offered to come back and record a Child's Play 2 episode. So I don't know when that will come out, and I'm actually not sure if that offer is still on the table. We'll see. But yeah, David will be back.
We'll reach out to him and see when he wants to do it, because I like listening to those episodes. I'm still a David fan.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I mean, David is the GOAT.
A little OG broing out.
OG broing out. Like most, yeah, we'll get an episode. Me and David will just like talk about how much we love Trump. And really get it back to the roots of this conservative podcast. All right. That's it for today. Thanks so much for joining us. Go see The Bone Temple. Get a boning. And make sure to call and leave us a voicemail at 682-253-4468. Go on to our Patreon, go to our website, get the links to all the things, and just be a friend of the show. We'll reach out to those people that signed up for being a guest host coming up for the next several months, and we'll see how it goes. Thanks so much, Mandy, for coming on.
Thank you.
You're a champ. We'll record the afterpod after this and get to know you a little more and talk about our weeks, and see everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Good day, sir. Good day, sir. You lose. You get nothing.
Is that a raincoat? Yes, it is.
We should be playing Iron Maiden right now.
Just took a stroll through the scraggly woods.
He had no face.
Horror!
Wow, that didn't sound good.
Sinner.